So, I hear we're into some of the same stuff.
You are about to join the revolution.
The time has come. Your world will never be the same. You are listening to a sophisticated conversation.
Greetings and welcome to episode number 40 of Podcast Revolution.
Woo, episode number 40!
Wow, we haven't had a guest do one of those for a while.
Yeah, I tried to be Eric this time. If you didn't notice, that wasn't Eric, by the way. It's Frenchie.
All right, I usually do the introductions, and joining me in the studio is Frenchie.
I introduced myself. I beat you. I'm sorry.
Your mustache precedes you.
Yeah, it brings out a new me. Can't help it.
All right, and joining us via Skype again is our buddy Tab.
Hey.
How are things over there in Germany?
Say again?
How are things over there in Germany?
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
I'm the foreign correspondent, and I can tell you that nobody cares about how things are going with me, so let's keep moving.
Well, fair enough.
All right.
Fair enough. That's probably a very accurate statement. All right, so where do we go from here? Episode 40. It's been a long time since the show started. I mean, normally we save special events for episode 50 because we do episode 50 a lot. But where were you when the series started, Frenchie?
I wasn't even on the show. I was just an intern. Now I'm one of the main guys. I mean, I haven't been on in a while, but I'm just glad to be here. Just thank God.
It was funny on one episode where the audio went really poorly in the beginning, and I made you take the hit for it.
Yeah, and we all both know that it wasn't my fault, but I just took the blame anyways so I could actually get on the show.
It paid off.
You all know it was Eric's fault.
Everything's Eric's fault.
I agree. He's watching Laguna Beach right now anyway, so it doesn't even
Or
matter.
Degrassi. Or the Grotto.
I call it Degrassi too, it's okay.
Alright, so a couple episodes back we had an email from Ramon, which I haven't heard back from him, so I want to hear back from him. But Frenchie has not heard the email. So I think it would be in the best interest of the show to have this email reread.
I heard it was absurd. I hope I'm not disappointed.
Alright, and so for this episode we'll do this email first, and we'll do the other ones after a break. Alright, so blah 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 blah. Where's Ramon? There he is. Alright. I will read it right now. Dear John, Eric, Frenchie, Bacteria Mike, Bad Andy, Cages, and the rest of my PPR colleagues. It's been some time since my last email, but again, I hope you can help me with my relationship problems. Having dumped my last 3 girlfriends because they were sexually incompatible, I could never get any of them to have full boners, even with flower petals leading up to the bedroom, which was a pretty cool sex move. I finally got together with my new girlfriend, Bianca, but she is Serbian. How does one put their dick in a Serbian vagina? I mean, normally they stretch out of the way and are easy to access, but on her I have to use my hands and move the foreskin out of the way, and it's really inconvenient. Should I use scissors or just a big knife? Your thoughts on the matter? I assume that Bad Andy or Eric would know a lot about this sort of thing. Friend of the show, Ramon.
Really? Wow. That is just incredible. I don't even know what to say to that.
They've already heard our advice. What's your advice, Frenchie? What would you do to deal
we
with
need some
the
fresh...
foreskin?
I mean, you get one of those gynecologist things that, like, open the vagina, like the little tool there. I wouldn't use scissors or a big knife. That just is a bad idea. Maybe use, like, some pliers or something. I don't know. Like, that's, wow, I'm just speechless right now. I don't even know what to say.
You're familiar with what foreskin is, correct?
I know what foreskin is. We don't need to have a sex ed.
Eric showed you.
Yes, Eric showed me that one time. But we won't go there right now.
Okay.
Oh, God. That is a horrible thing to talk about.
Oh, I can't remember if I mentioned it on the show or not, but I might have, and that might have caused change. Tab, did I mention sun drops on the show before, or was that just in normal conversation?
I don't know if it was on the show or if it was in conversation.
Well, just last weekend I was in Walmart, and lo and behold, I saw a case of Sundrops, so I had to buy it immediately. And I'm drinking it right now, and it's amazing.
And it is the best soda I think I've ever had, and we're going to write to them and try to have them sponsor our show, because it is that good.
Well, that's why they brought it back. They heard me talking about it.
They must have. Had to have been the only way.
But I was happy. It's naturally flavored citrus soda.
Very excited!
Yes. All right. So, Tab, I told you to prepare a list of topics. Did you do that?
Sure.
All right, lay them on me, big guy.
It's not like you can tell. We don't have a video chat going, so sure, there's a list in front of me of topics.
All right, lay them on me.
Like all of them at once? Give me a second to consult the list.
Yeah, geez,
Um,
calm down.
Hey, you want to fight me?
No.
All right, good.
Later.
We should have a fight in the studio.
We should fight Kyle.
Fight cages.
Cages. What a funny man.
So, one topic that I have is living with dietary restrictions and how much that must suck for people.
Go on.
I like it.
Well, for an example, I have a gluten sensitivity, which means that I pretty much avoid eating anything that contains wheat. So, bread, pasta,
Wheaties?
all that stuff.
Why
yeah.
do they
And
call
actually-
it gluten-free if you have to avoid wheat? Why don't they just call it wheat-free?
Because it's a specific protein that's in wheat. And it's also in other things, including malt, barley, and a lot of different types of grain plants.
That's
but
why
it's a
they call
specific
it
protein.
gluten, so they can include all of it at once?
Right, because
Okay, I see.
some people, because actually having like a wheat allergy could be a different thing than having a gluten sensitivity. And there's multiple different types of gluten-related things, like there's celiac disease, which most people are familiar with, which is not what I have particularly, but it really sucks because like if you get like a box of corn pops, you would expect that there wouldn't be any wheat or things like that. It's corn pops made of corn.
Right.
But almost all cereals have some type of malt flavoring added. So pretty much all
Sorry about that.
all normal
I muted you.
cereals.
Oh, hang on. We're good. Continue.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
So a lot of cereals, like if I go to the grocery store, unless I find like really plain cornflakes, like if you go get Kellogg's cornflakes, they've got a malt flavoring added, even though they still taste awful. So I'm not really sure what the malt's doing. But I mean, like I've gotten used to like living without gluten, but I only started like strictly not eating gluten in the past year, and I really like love bread and pasta and things like that. So it really sucks. So, and with me, if I eat gluten, all that really happens is I get an upset stomach. But with people who have like celiac disease, essentially if you continue to have gluten in your diet, it increases your chances of like intestinal cancer.
Well, according to
it really sucks for them.
According to a trusted source online, Urban Dictionary, people who cannot... you'd be referred to as a glutard, one who does not possess the enzymes necessary to digest gluten, which is the main ingredient in wheat products. One who is a glutard must only eat gluten-free foods such as water, tofu, and air.
He's
Wow.
gluten-tarded.
And Frenchie and I will give you a demonstration of a conversation. So I'll say, hey, do you want some pasta for dinner?
And I say, no, sorry, I'm a glutard.
What does that mean?
It means I'm glutarded.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So it's
Okay,
good.
then.
It's good to know a glutard.
I guess it is a good thing. Oh, man.
Yeah, but I mean, the one was that my parents recently, like, without mentioning it to me, they ordered me a bunch of, like, gluten-free products, including, like, gluten-free pastas and things like that, and had them shipped to my apartment, which was really awesome. Because now I'm just getting these boxes with, like, foods that I usually don't get to eat, and I'm really excited. In fact, fans of the show who want to supply me with gluten-free foods, just contact the show, and they'll accept your money.
If they're not going to send emails to the show, I don't think they're going to send you food.
Well, you don't know that.
It might be like poisonous food. But
I guess.
actually, Frenchie has made another discovery on Encyclopedia, on the Urban Dictionary. And Frenchie, would you care to read it?
Yeah, we're gonna act out another scenario here.
Oh,
Dude.
dear.
Dude, what the hell is wrong with your Soy Joy bar?
Oh, it's gluten-free.
It looks like a bar of solidified diarrhea.
Is that what soy joy bars actually look like?
I don't even know what a soy joy bar is. I usually don't go around and buy like gluten-free versions of products. I usually just avoid them. So like I don't really eat bread because it's hard to find gluten-free bread. I don't eat gluten-free pasta very often because it's expensive. I usually just eat lots of rice and potatoes.
All right, so
Rice is good.
Yeah, but I gotta say, I eat rice like every day, and after like eating it for like 5 days in a row, you're just like, I don't want to eat rice ever again.
Well, don't ever go to China then.
Well, yeah,
they
but
love
China
glue
rice
tards
is
in
good.
China.
Oh man, on the note of China and rice, and from there Chinese food, I put MSG on some food I had. Oh my god, it does the most amazing stuff to food.
Such as?
Like, it just makes it so like you eat it, and then your mouth just waters like crazy, and it tastes so good.
That's kind of what Eric says when he hangs out with guys.
Oh my.
Well, we shouldn't bash Eric when he's not here.
Yes,
Oh,
we should.
body blow to
Yeah, I
Eric.
know. We really should. He should be here right now, but he's too lame. Or too gay.
Yeah, I
We just
hope
haven't decided.
when
Not that
my
there's anything wrong with that.
No. Poor Eric.
Yes, poor Eric indeed.
yeah.
But all right, Frenchie. Apparently, Frenchie discovered that there's a thing called Jesus bread, which is a supposed organic, gluten-free product that makes extravagant claims. That's not that funny.
Yeah, that isn't. Way
It's
to go,
not
French.
that it's
What
funny,
up,
but I
Eric?
just saw a random word that said Jesus bread and it kind of made me laugh.
Okay, I think we've exhausted the gluten-free topic.
Yeah, I think it's time to move on.
Yeah, I think it's only interesting to me because it's something I have to deal with.
Yeah, I think a lot of people stopped listening when you went on your little rant.
Conveniently, Lay's potato chips are usually gluten-free, which is really awesome. And that's another thing. It's like you would think that potato chips wouldn't have flour in it, but most of them do.
Why?
Because they hate me.
Oh,
That is why.
well, that makes sense.
They hate tab, so they put flour in.
Does
potatoes.
Rule 34 apply to potato chips?
Yes.
Okay.
Rule 34 apply to Germany?
Oh dear.
I don't think he even knows what Rule 34 is.
Wait, me?
No, Frenchie.
No, we
Oh,
learned
okay.
about it yesterday.
Oh yeah, I did teach you yesterday. All right, I think it's time for a commercial. We'll be back
Yes.
after this with some listener emails.
Mögen Sie Huhnfleisch? Ich esse gern Huhnfleisch. Es ist so gut. Sie gehen in ein New Jersey Art Restaurant und ich sage, geben Sie mir der Kopf ein Hund und so. Sie bringen ein lebendes Hund in der Restaurant und sie aufschneidet der Kopf und dann in ein tiefgefroren und dann in den Ofen heiß gebacken und oh, es ist so lecker. Oder ich kann ein Huhn mit Portapau Promise entsorgen und dann es wird ganz gut sein, aber dann kann ich es nicht essen. Portapau Promise ist gut für ein lebendes Hund, aber nicht für ein Todhund. Portapau Promise, gut, aber nicht lecker.
Nein, 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 nein! All right, wasn't that a funny commercial?
I liked it. It was different.
All right, I don't know exactly what he said, but that's fine.
I heard Paw Promise, and that's all that matters. One of our great sponsors here at the show.
Yes, thank you, Potapau Promise, for sponsoring us. All right, speaking of sponsoring us, we have some emails from listeners who want to get their voice in. All right, first one is from Kanet Sveta, whatever that is.
I don't know what that means.
All right, here it goes. Frenchie, why don't you read it for us?
Oh, God. All right. Conan Sveta writes, Cages, how is that even after all this heckling from everyone on the show, you still don't know your phone number? I mean, it's 7 goddamn numbers. Well, fine, 10 if you count the area code. Learn that stupid number, you bum. It's not that hard. Signed, Kernet Sveta.
So I'd say that's a reasonable email.
It's not really an email. It's just kind of a straight shot at Cages.
Yeah.
I mean, not that he doesn't deserve it.
Angry
but-
email to the show about Frenchie not using a ridiculous voice when he read that email.
That's true. Frenchie, read it again in a ridiculous voice. All right, take 2.
Okay, Jazz. How is it that after all this heckling from everyone on the show, you still don't know your phone number? I mean, it's 7 goddamn numbers. Well, fine, 10 if you count the area code. Learn that stupid number, you bum, and it's not that hard. Kermit Sveta.
Yes. So, let's debate. Why hasn't Cages learned his number yet?
Because he sucks.
I'll ask the panel. All right, so your reason is he sucks. Would you like to elaborate?
Nah, it's just about all his fault. I mean, he doesn't suck like Eric, but he sucks like Cages, so...
I think Eric would have learned his phone number.
Yeah, but Eric sucks, so it doesn't matter.
All right, Tab, why hasn't Eric learned his phone number? Or Cages, why hasn't Cages learned his number?
Why he hasn't? You
Yes.
want my ideas?
Yes.
I think it's because he's a closeted homosexual.
So, how would learning his own phone number inhibit his lifestyle?
I don't really think I don't think there's a direct correlation. I just think that Cages is a closeted homosexual.
Understood. But back to the question at hand. What has prevented him from learning his phone number?
He's been far too busy just, sneaking off by himself to do things with other men of a homosexual nature.
I heard he's Jewish.
To memorize anything. He's too busy with other things in his head other than thoughts of his phone number.
I heard he's Jewish, and since it's not money, he doesn't need to memorize it.
Oh my.
You're off the show.
But don't.
But, alright. So, Cages, long story short.
Learn your phone number.
Yes, please. And someday some hot girl is going to come up to you, and you're going to be SOL, my friend.
And she might not be that hot, but you'll still be SOL.
Who knows, maybe some hot dude will come up to him.
Maybe.
Yeah,
German named Osterreich.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Alright, so we got another email from
Mr. Button
from
Man.
Lenny Hopeless. Alright. Hey guys, I have a for real serious question for you, and it's weird, but you please don't laugh at me. You know the phrase butterface, right? Like, she's really hot, but she's a butterface? Well, is there such thing as a butter dick? I was goofing around with my friend Joss the other day, and I told him I would do him if he became a girl for a day. He got all uncomfortable and looked at the crowd, and when I asked him what was wrong, he wouldn't say. Then he told me to leave, and I thought maybe I offended him. When I got home, he called my cell phone and said, "Dude, I'm sorry, but I am a girl." I was stunned. I didn't say anything for a little bit. Then I said, "But dude, I've been for your dick before." He said, "I know, I'm a butter dick."
What?
He said it was a way some people are born. Like, some girls are born with dicks, but they can be really attractive. My friend Joss is really attractive, but I don't know if he's lying or not. I like him, but not if he's a boy. Maybe is he a butter dick? Signed, Lenny Hopeless.
First of all, is Lenny Hopeless gay?
It's ambiguous at this point.
He didn't come out and say it, but it sounds it.
Well, just from the first... Oh, go ahead. What were you saying?
Let me just get this clear, because I feel like I wasn't fully following what was going on in that email. So Lenny Hopeless said to his male friend Joss that he'd do him if he was a chick. And then Joss said that he is a chick, but he does in fact have male genitalia. And so now Lenny Hopeless is unclear if Joss is lying to him.
Well, just the first part that he said alone, that he'd do his friend if he was a chick, is very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I can't say that would be a good relationship builder. But then Josh seems more embarrassed at the fact that Lenny doesn't realize that he's a girl than the fact that what he said was weird. But back to the question.
Like,
is what?
Like, I feel like the closest that I could come to relating to this is that, like, I have a friend who has a pretty, but she also kind of looks like my friend, but like with me, like that makes it bad, you know? It's not like, oh, she looks like my friend. No.
All right, but the question at hand, is there such thing as a butter dick?
No.
No.
I'm going to just, like, I don't even know if this is, like, if I'm accurate or scientifically truthful. I'm just going to say no, 'cause I don't want to think about this.
Frenchie, do you have any input on the subject?
I mean, when you're talking about a butterface, you're saying like a girl's hot, but not her face. So, like, how would you say like a guy's hot, but not his dick? Like, that just makes no sense.
It's like the chick's hot, but she has a dick.
Wait, what? Maybe
That's
I'm
my
confused by this. Regardless, there's no such thing. That's just outrageous.
Oh dear.
I just think Johnny Hopeless needs to maybe talk to his pastor for some guidance on this, because it sounds like he's got some serious issues.
He needs help.
Yes. Maybe he should maybe we should hook him up with Ramon. Maybe he could supply some life experience.
And Ramon does know a lot about weird life experiences. He could probably help him.
Ramon should write a book, an autobiography.
Life as a Ramon.
All right, so we're back to the segment that was popular last week. So I figured we'd give it another go and add another element to it. So we'll do some advice, and we'll get the advice from the German perspective and the advice from the American perspective from the American named Frenchie.
Woohoo!
So let's do some community advice first. So deal with communities. There's not too many. All right. Here's one. I have a very dear friend who has a father in his 80s. Lately, I have noticed that her dad is becoming more and more forgetful. I'm worried because he still has a driver's license and drives every day. I'm very afraid that he will either get lost or cause a terrible accident. When I mentioned this to her, she became very upset with me and said that her dad is very independent and is just fine. I'd hate to see anything bad happen. Can you suggest a way I can help her see that perhaps her dad shouldn't be driving alone anymore? So, Frenchie, I'll let you handle this one first. What advice would you give?
The only way is to show that he isn't really independent. Like, maybe like tie something to a string and just keep pulling it away from him, and then he won't be able to catch it. So, like the good old dollar bill trick, and he can't get it. And then it'll help show her that he really is incapable of doing even a small task, let alone driving and killing somebody.
Okay. How would the European counter with that? And I'll score points for whoever wins this round.
So now you're telling me after I have seconds to go that it's now being scored.
I didn't even tell Frenchie at all.
Yeah, you didn't tell me at all. That is fair.
Okay. What I would do is, what the Europeans would do is you go to the father's house in the middle of the night, and you just pour gasoline all over the father's car, and then you just set the car on fire, and then nail a note to his door saying, "Take the bus, you're too old."
Well, let's see. I'll give Frenchie a point for American cleverness.
Actually,
I'll give Tab 2 points for sheer hilarity.
That's not right, though, because that doesn't show how he's not independent, because all he's doing is lighting his car on fire and taking it away from him. You're actually showing him being independent like I did.
I'm taking away points for Frenchie for standing up for himself.
Well, that's not right. Boo!
That's not what we do on this show.
Yes, we do.
No, learn from Cages.
I'm not Cages.
Just take it.
No. How dare you say that to me?
All right. Next question. Dear Mrs. Webb, I work part-time and have 2 children, both under 5. We live in a small community, and I feel terrible because I just don't have the energy to volunteer at church or at any other committees that are available. I often say no, but I do read to the preschoolers once a month at the library. I see other mothers who have just as busy schedules doing many other things too. All right, so there's not really a question here, but Tab, go. Give this person advice.
What she needs to do is get rid of the kids. That way she'll have more time for volunteering. I suggest she takes the kids down to a dock or perhaps some sort of burning tire pile or a coal mine, and then return home in her car, leaving them behind.
Well, just as long as the coal mine's not in Chile. Because they'll be
Ideally,
rescued.
well,
If she does it in America, then there's no chance of being rescued.
Not at all.
But, alright. Is that the end, or would you like to continue?
Alternatively, pour gasoline all over her kids and set them on fire. That's the other option. That's sort of the the European go-to solution.
Alright, Frenchie, what is your
First of all, that sounds horrible. Poor kids. Second of all...
It's just a cultural thing, Frenchie. You gotta get used to it.
Well, you Germans gotta fix things. But, anyways... I mean, all these other people have just as busy schedules. I think she just needs to get her ass off the off the couch, and just actually go places and stop being lazy. Maybe take a 5-hour energy, like we do in America, and get pumped up and actually go do something with her life. Instead of just working a part-time job. Was she working 20 hours a week? 30 maybe? I mean, she should still be able to go to the church and help out. I think she's just sheer laziness, the real American way.
I'll give that one a tie. I'd say that one was pretty even. Alright, moving on. Alright, we'll move to a different area now. Alright, I'll give Tab the lead Tab the choice since he's in the lead. Do you want children advice or teen advice?
Ooh, teen advice.
Alright. Alright. Here's one. I am 15. My best friend has a mother who is always on her case about everything she does. She is the middle of 5 daughters. Her mom is always after her about boys calling, house cleaning, and other chores. Every day, I go over and help her with her chores because she is not permitted to go out. My friend makes it worse by yelling at her mother, forging her signature, and lying to her. How can I help them? Alright, Frenchie.
Well, first of all, I mean, she's trying to keep her probably on a tight leash because maybe her 2 older sisters are screw-ups and they're always going out, getting drunk, and having sex all the time. So maybe she's trying to keep her 15-year-old from actually being like that.
Well, what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that is that she's 15. She's not 16. She's not 18. She should be at home and just relaxing. She shouldn't be out and about flaunting her shit and just... I mean, I don't even know what to say here. It's just, she should really just stay home and listen to her mother, and her mother knows best.
All right. Tab, what do you got?
Well, my European perspective actually conveniently has made me aware that the person who wrote this, I actually know some of the backstory, which gives me an ideal perspective for this. See, what happened to the older siblings, as Eric was possibly suggesting, was actually a serial killer dressed in the skin of a bear, mauled them to death. And they were both dating him at the same time. So the mom is really just being concerned because such a terrible thing happened to the 2 older sisters of the 5, and also to the 2 younger ones. But that was a different story, but with a serial killer dressed up actually in the skin of a shark who bit them to death. Very, very terrible thing. So I think this friend who wrote in really just, needs to realize that, not everyone's in the same boat as her of, not having serial murdered older and younger siblings. So I think she just needs to accept that sometimes bad things happen to good people, and as a result, their lives become difficult.
No points will be rewarded based on answers in this round, but Frenchie will get a point for being American.
Yes.
All right. Next question. Dear Miss Webb, I have a 10-year-old daughter who is beginning to follow rock and roll music groups and singers.
Good job.
I listened to one of the CDs recently and was not happy with the tunes or the lyrics. I can't take the music away from her. All her friends listen to them too. What should I do to minimize this kind of thing in our home? All right, Tab, you have the floor.
Okay. So she's saying that she's not going to take away the music.
Correct.
She just wants to minimize it.
So she wants to reduce it, but not remove it.
Well, she'd like to, but she knows that that's not possible.
I think here's what she needs to do. She needs to be like, hey, honey, do you want to get some Chinese food? And of course, little kids love Chinese food. So they get the Chinese food with chopsticks. Then she needs to take those chopsticks and puncture her daughter's eardrums so she can no longer hear. And then she won't have to listen to these awful, awful rock and roll lyrics and music. And then and then to prevent the eardrums from healing, she needs to soak them in gasoline and set them on fire.
Very European of you. All right, good answer. All right, Frenchie.
Well, first of all, at least it's rock and roll and it's not that crap rap stuff or any like country or anything like that. At least it's actually decent music. Second of all, I understand that their lyrics might not be of great choice, but like I said, at least it's not rap, and the F-bomb and all those other words are dropped every five and a half seconds.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Oh, we do know that. I have listened to it many times, and that's all you hear.
Oh, no, we don't know that that's happening in the...
Oh, no, but I'm just saying at least it's not that.
It could be. Well, keep going.
It could be, but it's not, because I listen to that kind of music as well. But the way to really minimize it, if that's what she's trying to do, is just by allowing her to have it, because when kids are told they can't have something, they're bound to do it more and more anyways. So you just let her have it, and then maybe she'll just eventually just get over it and not try to be a rebel against her mother like every 10-year-old kid.
Okay. I will give 1 point for each participant, and I believe that leaves us tied at 4. Or
Really?
I think so.
Aren't I like 1 point ahead?
You might be 1 point ahead.
You might be a point ahead. Well, then I'm clearing the scores. Now we're even.
Okay.
And we have the championship question coming up after the break. Oh, that was a good workout, Steinemann. Hey, where's your little Fifi yarmulke?
Oh, I don't wear that anymore. I'm no longer Jewish.
What are you saying? You're not a dreidel spinner no more?
No, I converted to Christianity just the other day.
Oh, what made you get some good sense?
Well, that's a good question, and I've got a good answer. You see, I was online, and I was actually looking for some Torah study Bible podcasts, and I found this one called Saul's Bible Podcast, and it was just a purely Christian and healthy podcast about the Bible and of the Bible, and I realized, why am I just studying this Old Testament when there's a whole New Testament I could be learning about? And so now I've converted because it's shown me the light.
So let me get this straight. Some tech-head junkie blogger named Saul made a podcast, and it made you convert.
Well, I mean, as a Christian, I think Jesus had something to do with it too.
That's awesome!
I know. I think, do you listen to Saul's Bible Podcast? Because if you don't, you should. It'll change your life.
I will now.
In fact, I already emailed it to our friend Ahmed. I think he'll be converting from his Muslim religion soon.
Yes.
That's perfect.
All right, we're back. All right, that commercial was okay. We actually filmed another one, but it did not make the air due to conflicting reasons. We were conflicted.
Yes. Very, very conflicted.
And we did not want to lose viewership.
Yes.
All right, so now for the final round of our Ask Mrs. Webb questions. Frenchie, are you ready?
I'm ready to go.
Tab, are you prepared?
Yes.
All right, gentlemen, hold on tight, because here comes the question. Dear Mrs. Webb, my husband buys about $200 worth of lottery tickets each month. I think that is too much. She doesn't really ask a question, but it's assumed that she wants to somehow deal with this. All right, who wants to go first?
I'll let him go first.
All right, Tab, are you prepared?
Could you repeat the letter one more time? It was short enough. I think that's a reasonable request.
Yes, sir. Dear Mrs. Webb, my husband buys about $200 worth of lottery tickets each month. I think that is too much. All right, what say you? What say you, good sir?
Okay, here's what I think she needs to do. She needs to start investing in lottery tickets. It sounds counterintuitive. She should spend about $400 a week on lottery tickets. Because in theory, if you look at the statistics, she should be earning back the money she's spending and the money that her husband's spending in winnings, because she should be able to win the lottery repeatedly using science. And by doing that, she will save her marriage. Or, alternative, she gets a hacksaw and removes her husband's fingers. That way, he will not be able to get money or coins out of his pockets to buy lottery tickets or scratch tickets.
I'd say that's practical advice.
Third option, go to the lottery commission building, soak it in gasoline, and set it on fire.
All right, also practical advice. But I do believe that your science-based answer wouldn't go over well with the people at Saul's Piebald podcast, because they don't like science.
Well, I didn't say science, I said Scientology.
Oh, okay. All right, Frenchie, do you have a response?
I do.
All right, what's the American answer?
First of all, as an American, I buy scratch tickets, and I know that spending $400 a week, you're definitely not likely to actually bring $600 of it back home. Not in America, anyways. Maybe.
Hey, this isn't a debate. This is answering a question.
All right, I am answering it. I'm answering the fact that mathematically, due to odds, that wouldn't happen. So I'm saying
objection.
No.
Judge,
no.
You're not allowed to pick apart my response.
I didn't know.
Overruled.
I am saying that mathematically, I think that is way too much, and she needs to get control on that man and whip him with a belt in the back, and just tell him enough's enough, or else they're gonna be bankrupt, and then they're gonna be on the streets living under a bus or something. And I think that he has a problem.
All right. Tab, I was going to give you points for winning, but you were whining during his answer, so no points will be awarded. So stop being a whiner. Whoa! What the hell was that?
He's not a farter.
Your father. All right. Here's another question.
What? More questions?
Yes.
One more.
No one won that one. Neither of you had a good enough answer or a funny enough answer. They were both middle of the road.
Questions suck balls.
It's just, moving on. Dear Mrs. Webb, and you please continue the trash talk between opponents. That makes it better.
Yeah, boo.
All right. Dear Mrs. Webb, I want to send flowers to a woman that I have recently met. What special day should I choose to do so? Easter or Mother's Day? I'm not sending for each occasion. All right. Frenchie.
First of all, what is he, cheap or something? Not sending for each occasion? I mean, I guess if he has to choose one, he's going to choose Mother's Day. Because, first of all, Easter's not, like, a great holiday. I mean, it's just a holiday about Jesus dying and being resurrected. I mean...
Allegedly.
Allegedly, anyways. So, why would you want to give a girl flowers on that day? You'd probably give her Mother's Day. At least maybe she is a mother, or if she is expecting or whatever. That you give her a nice bouquet or whatever, and...
So you're assuming he's hooking up with a girl who's expecting a woman?
Well, no,
baby?
at least the fact that Mother's Day is probably a more happier occasion is what I'm thinking about. So I'm saying you probably want to do it on Mother's Day if you're not going to do both. I would do both personally. But if he's only going to do one, I would choose Mother's Day out of the two.
Okay. What say you?
Okay,
European?
first I got to say that clearly Thomas didn't think that his answer was at all valid in any way. Okay, first off, if you're, like, trying to, like, you know, flatter some chick, you don't send them flowers on Mother's Day. It's like, oh, yeah, you remind me of my mom so much that I'm going to get you stuff on Mother's Day. You go with Easter, because it's just a very neutral, romantically speaking holiday, whereas with Mother's Day...
Wait, Frenchie has a response to that.
No, I do not.
No,
fuck him.
Let him continue.
All right, I apologize. Continue.
No, I mean, you know, if you want to just give all sorts of mixed Oedipal signals and be like, hey, baby, I kind of want to do my mom, but I'm going to have to settle for you, like, go ahead and send flowers on Mother's Day. No, you go with Easter, and you just hope, you know, and ideally, you know, like, let's say it's a chick who isn't Catholic. Let's say she's Jewish. You just send her some flowers and throw a card. It's like, baby, you may have killed Jesus, but you're killing my heart. Something classy like that.
All right, Frenchie, have you a response?
No, you got
It's a response? You're just making up the rules as you go, Judge.
Hey, Hey, you continue your banter. Do you have anything else to say? Either of you? Going
No,
once?
I think the segment's done.
All right. The winner, Frenchie, you came in second place.
Yes.
Tab, you won. All right. Frenchie, give your concession speech.
I don't have one.
He doesn't have one. Tab, do you have anything you'd like to say for your advice?
For my advice, what do you mean by that?
Well, for your victory.
My victory, I just want to say that I think it's really impressive that Frenchie is willing to, through his inability to defeat me, reveal his shared closet space that they use for their secret rendezvous.
You went out for a second. You disappeared for a second. That closet space with whom?
Kevin.
With Kevin.
Also, Eric might be there too.
Well, Frenchie is shaking his head. Do you have a rebuttal?
He doesn't get a rebuttal. This is my speech.
I don't. It's his...
You seem to think everybody gets a rebuttal to everything. This isn't the freaking election.
I know, John. Please.
It's like you go to the Oscars. It's like, all right, Christopher Walken, you just won this award. Do you have anything to say? And he's like, yes, I want to say. And this is a terrible impression. Thanks. And then it's like, okay, Oprah Winfrey, do you have a rebuttal? No. What the fuck?
This isn't the Oscars. And why would Oprah be there?
Why the fuck not? She's a Nick Jig.
The midget.
I'm gonna have to insist that we edit that out.
No, you don't call for who edits what. I do that.
Overruled. We do that.
I'm sorry. I
You overstepped your bounds right there.
I know. I'm sorry, Judge.
All right. So that segment's done. It's over.
I don't think we should ever go back to it again.
Probably not. All right. So one thing that I'm thinking of doing for the future, which I'll ask you guys, and you can tell me what you think. I'll walk around with a little tape recorder like I did in Toronto, and for instance, when I go to UNH tonight and I'll see Cages, I could have him give a 5-minute little declarative statement about whatever he feels like, and I could just release that as a short 5-minute mini episode of PPR. What do you think of that?
I think you can get some solid footage out of that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. You can definitely get some good footage out of that, but I feel like the releasing of it as like mini episodes. I mean, I know some people who don't like how long the episodes are really short, but on the other hand, I think something like that, like I think that would be too short. And I'd rather see that like just plugged into a normal episode.
Yes.
But I mean, again, it really depends on how the specific audience members. Because I know one person that listens to the show who doesn't like how long it is. And, I mean, I tried to convince him that that's a great length and format, but he just was too busy with gay things.
Would you like to elaborate?
Penis?
Yeah.
Frenchie already knows.
Yeah.
Frenchie's well
Maybe he was
versed
there.
in that community. Okay. So, basically, what we're saying is Podcast Revolution is good as it is, but we might do some changes, try to mix things up a little bit. So we'll see what comes up. So, Frenchie, do you listen to any other podcasts?
Not currently. I do not.
How about you, Tab? Do you listen to any others?
I actually do listen to Saul's Bible podcast.
Has it changed your life?
Thoroughly.
Okay. Excellent. Frenchie, why are you drawing all over your shoes?
I don't know. Why not?
That would seem to indicate a level of boredom.
No, it's fine.
All right.
Just creating some zigzags and
Creating some zigzags.
nig jigs and...
Tab, question for you. What are you doing? Are you eating chips?
Yes.
Are you stuffing your face?
No.
Are they Lay's potato chips that are gluten-free because you're a glutard?
Yes.
All right. Have you been a glutard your whole life, or did you learn to be a glutard?
I learned to be a glutard. But it was genetic, presumably.
So are your parents glutards as well?
No.
No. That's a shame. Will your kid be a glutard?
I don't know.
Do you hope your kid's a glutard?
No. If my kid's a glutard, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Would you eat your kid if he was a glutard?
Not if he had gluten in him.
Would you break out in hives?
No. We discussed this.
Well, I don't care. Well, no, but we didn't discuss eating children.
Yeah, that's kind of... Wow.
That could change it.
I mean, there could be some risk of like a prion disease, but that's completely unrelated to the glutard.
What about Hannibal Lecter? Is that possible as well?
What?
A Hannibal Lecter disease, is that possible?
What is Hannibal Lecter disease?
It means you eat people.
That's not a disease.
Yes,
that's
it
just,
is. Yes, it is. If you saw the movies, it is. It is a disease.
According to the movies.
Hannibal Lecter was a sick man.
I'm just not even going to dignify this with a response.
Fair enough.
Oh, boy.
So, Frenchie? I don't know. Fight with Tab for a minute.
Well, I'm not going to fight with him. He's a knowledgeable man from Eastern European world.
Tab, you can argue with him right now because it's not Eastern Europe. Fight him. Tell him he's wrong.
Yeah, it's Western Europe. What is the matter with you?
Yeah,
I'm not living in...
I gotta know my geology. God damn it.
Geography.
Sorry.
Wow. So when did you drop out? 3rd grade? 4th grade?
Actually, I graduated. I'm proud of it, by the way.
Middle school? You graduated middle school?
No, high school.
Well, like special ed high school, right?
Yeah, I was at the Haynes house. Which, if you don't know what that means, it means I was in mental retardation classes.
I just assumed it meant that you like wore Hanes underwear on your head because you were retarded.
I wore them as my helmet sometimes.
Well, underneath your tinfoil helmet.
And water wings. I wore water wings when I ate soup, too.
Of course.
Alright, that's an old Family Guy reference.
Yes.
The show that was funny at one point.
What's our next topic?
TV shows that were funny at one point that aren't anymore, even though we discussed this last week. But Frenchie is in love with a lot of those shows. Frenchie will defend them.
I will defend them. You're absolutely right.
Alright, Tab, go off on one of the shows that you don't like.
This just sounds like you're just trying to get me and Frenchie to argue more.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't argue, and we should just argue with you, John.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, we're going to argue with you.
Tab, what's one of the shows that you don't care for?
I don't really care for most shows.
Yes, exactly. So
well, talk about one.
No, it's fine. Don't even don't give him a response. Just start fighting with him.
Yeah, let's just start a new topic, Frenchie. We don't need John.
Yeah, John's a cotton-headed ninny muggins.
I resent that. And I'll take this off my head, but come on. Alright, so what we're saying is that you guys aren't complying with my rules.
Correct. We are taking a stand and overruling you on your own show.
I'm going to demote you back to intern.
Can't be done.
I'm going to shave your mustache.
Oh, we lost him.
Yeah, I'm back.
Alright, you're back. He disappeared. Alright.
How dare you?
That was very frightening.
John's going to shave my mustache.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright. Let's say something to J. Russ, because he's probably very mad right now that he's not enjoying the show. So
J. Russ is probably trying to knife people in a game called Battlefield Bad Company. And probably just needs to be enough of that, so we shouldn't even talk about J. Russ right now, because that's what he's addicted to. Right at this current moment.
That's true.
So we shouldn't even dignify him a spot on this show.
Alright.
I can't help but notice that if you look at how that game, you could shorten it. You got 2 B's, so BB, both of which clearly indicating J. Russ's, Freudian preference for things that start with B's, like butts. And then you've got the word company, which the first syllable of is cum. So I'm going to have to just make the observation that he's probably knifing dudes right now with his knife.
J. Russ knifes dudes.
Alright, hopefully JRS can come on the show sometime to defend himself or send an email.
I don't think he deserves to defend himself.
So,
Most of the time, he doesn't want to. He just walks into the rest stop bathroom, turns the lights off, and just waits for the worst.
Knives. Oh God.
Oh boy, he wants to get guys dog tags.
Oh, okay. I think we've been a little too homophobic this episode.
Yeah, we gotta stop.
All right, yes, we are fans of our gay listeners like Cages and Eric, so we have no qualms with them. But all right, we will take our final break, and instead of doing a commercial, we will play you a music song that was sent in to us on a cassette, and it doesn't say who it's by or anything, but we'll just play you the song and you'll figure it out. So enjoy.
Scooby-Doo is my brother. He is my buddy. He is my idol. He is my main man. Scooby-Doo, 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 Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo was so great until he started messing with my girlfriend. He stole $20 from her. Then I thought he was a fucking asshole. Scooby-Doo, 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 Scooby-Doo. The very next day, I went to find Scooby-Doo. When I found him, he was being a bum. Then he started running so fast, I was chasing after him. Then I caught stupid moron, beat him with a stick. Scooby-Doo, 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 Scooby-Doo. Rock over Moscow, rock on Boston, Chevy like a rock.
All right, that was an interesting song. I have no idea who could have produced that.
It sounded pretty awful.
There were a few other tracks on that cassette which we'll play in future episodes.
Doesn't sound bad.
Yeah. All right, moving on. So, for recommendations this week, we're going to talk about upcoming video games.
Woo!
Excelente.
I love it.
All right, so, Tab, why don't you go first?
The game I'm going to recommend that's coming out is BioShock Infinity. It is the sequel to BioShock 2, the sequel of BioShock. BioShock was a really amazing game. BioShock 2 almost ruined the series, and I think BioShock Infinity is going to bring it back to its former glory.
What is BioShock?
Oh,
not know.
That's hard to describe because what BioShock Infinity is very different from the original.
Well, what kind of game is it? Is it a sports game? Is it a...
It's sort of a first-person shooter, but it's a little bit more complicated than that.
Like an MMORPG?
I do not believe so. It's more like Fallout.
Yeah, I mean it's really it's a first-person shooter, but with some twists.
Okay.
In gameplay, is what I mean.
And you enjoy the game?
The original, honestly, I recently purchased it and played through. I'd played through it before, but the original is probably in the top 3 at this point for my top favorite games, which is really surprising because my top games was pretty well regimented, and then I played through BioShock a couple more times, and I really fell in love with it again.
Excellent. Frenchie, what game would you like to recommend?
I'm going to recommend Gears of War 3. Obviously the sequel of Gears of War 2 and Gears of War, the original. Gears of War, the first one, I actually personally beat it, and I enjoyed it a lot. I could play it over and over and over again. mean, their multiplayer their online multiplayer isn't that great, but the actual story mode, the campaign modes are a great game, and I expect nothing less out of Gears of War 3.
Are you going to be a loser and chainsaw people the whole time?
Oh yeah, how could you not?
I mean, I gotta say that I really like. I do not like the Halo series. Let's not get into that whole discussion.
Yeah,
but
let's
I
just
really
avoid
like
that.
I
Yeah,
agree. We all agree on this show. But go ahead.
Oh, great. Well, I really loved Gears of War, and I also liked the multiplayer. It was pretty good. I mean, not that a game should be focused on its multiplayer. Gears of War 2 was, I wouldn't say it was as good as Gears of War 1, but it wasn't bad.
No,
And
definitely wasn't bad.
I'm hoping they just close the series off with Gears of War 3, and it'll be satisfying.
Nice trilogy.
Or they'll go the way of half the games nowadays and just keep making sequels. Maybe they'll get to like Gears of War 10.
Maybe.
Interesting. All right. So the game I will recommend is called Duke Nukem Forever, which has been in development forever. The game.
Well, yeah.
It's been allegedly being produced for the last 13 or 14 years, and it's the sequel to Duke Nukem, who is the all-male badass who chews bubblegum and kicks ass and is usually out of bubblegum. So it's pretty much an absurd game where aliens come down and steal all the hot women in the world, and he has to save them.
Yeah, it's a very kind of self-aware satire and very like misogynistic, and it's been in development for the past 13 or 14 years, but they really just dropped the ball on it, and the company that was making it pretty much went out of business. But a new company pretty much picked up the ball and is started from scratch, I think, and is making the game, and it's coming out I think the next year or so.
It's coming out in May, actually.
Really?
That's correct. And but I have a list right here online at Encyclopedia Dramatica that says a whole bunch of things that have come out that didn't take forever between the time this game was planned and the time it will be released. Like, for instance, Britney Spears has shaved her head. The entire Harry Potter book series has been released. Stephen King's done 16 novels. When this game was started development, the fastest internet connections were about 34 kilobytes per second, and now the average tube sites go 300 times faster than that. And there's been over 200 episodes of The Simpsons since then, and that hasn't gotten any funnier. And Lost went on for 6 seasons before pathetically expiring. And Survivor happened, which isn't very good.
Is it still going on?
It is, unfortunately.
Oh, God.
Let's see. Mario's been in 58 games.
58?
That's
well,
correct.
Yeah. If you include all the sports games, yeah.
There have been over 50 Star Wars-based games released.
Ugh. And like maybe 2 of them have been good.
Every Pokemon game has been released outside of Japan. Grand Theft Auto 1, 2, 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, and 4 have been released. Every Metal Gear Solid has been released. Every Resident Evil game, except one of them, has been released. Every Guitar Hero and those.
What was the one that wasn't? The first one?
Yeah, I said it except the first one.
Yeah, okay.
And, a lot has happened since Duke Nukem was announced.
I mean, that's kind of obvious. Lots has happened in the past dozen years.
Including 9/11.
Yes. Maybe we can get a correlation going there between Duke Nukem development and terrorism.
It's potential. It's possible.
It is possible.
We'll see.
That might have delayed the game, or maybe the game being delayed caused the terrorism, and then the terrorism delayed the game, so it just kept going on an endless loop.
Yeah.
All right, the show's over.
Yeah.
All right, Frenchie, any parting words?
No, not really. It was just a good show, and just happy to be on.
All right, one of those statements was a lie. All right, Tab, what is your closing word?
Be smart.
In what regard?
Everything. Just like last episode.
Excellent.
Be smart. I like it.
So, He's telling you not to listen to the show anymore. All right, my closing words are get ready for some potential mini episodes, maybe 15 minutes. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And please send in your emails at podcastrevolution@gmail.com. All right, say goodbye.
Wait, don't forget to thank people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't forget about knifing people.
That's Jairus' job.
And glutards.
Glutards, yes.
Au revoir.
All right. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank the fans who wrote in, Lenny and Knetsfeta, and Ramon for your old email. And I'd like to thank Tab for joining us, Mike, and myself, because without me, this show wouldn't be possible. Do you guys have to thank anybody?
I just want to thank myself. And the viewers, of course.
All right.
Listeners.
Tab, anything?
I want to thank Frenchie for being on the show today, because it's nice to have someone else to talk to besides Johnny T.
There we go. Yeah, I'll thank Tab as well.
All right.
Thank you.
Hi,
How
well-
nice of you to do that after I thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is getting awkward. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Das Vidania.
Wiedersehen.